Hello, and welcome to episode 16 of Dawless Jammin. Today we're going to be looking at the analog keys as a polysynth. So the analog keys is a four-voice synthesizer. You can either use four voices in one track, or you can split them up to make it like a monosynth. So like one voice, one voice, one voice, one voice. We also have an effects track, and we have a CV track, which lets us control a modular synthesizer with CV and gate. But recently, I think it's been like a year already, actually, almost a year, Elektron made this update where you can use this to sequence external gear. We're going to do that in a different video. But today I really wanted to focus on this, like as an actual synth. Is it good? Does it sound good? Yes, it does. Spoiler alert. So right here we have this little button or little thing that says, or writing, that says poly. If we press it twice, actually no, if we hold function, it lets us choose our amount of voices. You might not be able to see that, but it says 1, 2, 3, 4, and if we just select one, that's gonna make it a monosynth, but we're gonna leave it on all four. So we should be able to play a chord. Again, it is only a four-voice polysynth, so every time we press another note, it's going to steal one of those. I love the little lights on top. If you might have noticed, the Arturia key step actually took note from these little dots or lights and added them on their Key Step Pro. This actually goes way back to the Mono Machine keyboard, which we're gonna be checking out later on. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Hello to everyone in the chat. So, a few announcements before we start, actually. I guess YouTube thinks I'm cool now. They've let me add the join button to my channel. Hooray! If you look next to the subscribe, there's now a join button. And so there's two tiers. There's the badges and the shout out. Basically, the badges, it's $5. The badges add a badge next to your name every time you comment or every time you post in the chat during a live stream. So, like, it'll kind of give you priority over all the other watchers. And then a shout out, it's just that, it's a shout out. But yeah, pretty cool. And also for the Patreons, I started a new tier on Patreon called Educational Content, where I'm going to be focusing on like teaching keyboard skills, finger drumming, pretty much all like the beginner stuff to start with music production for those that aren't like theory oriented or don't want to go and take like classical lessons on a piano. You guys know that I like to dumb things down as much as possible, or just make things very simple to understand to someone that maybe hasn't seen those things before. So that is something new. If you're interested in that, definitely check it out. I've also made a new tier called Beatmaker, which lets you get all of my sound packs, all the existing ones, and every new sample pack. I mean, not sound packs. The sample packs that I make, like to load in your sampler. There's already like over 1,000 sounds on there, but you will get every new one that I make. So check that out if you want to become a patron. Means a lot. All right, so let's get to the video. Let's do this.
you.
I actually should save these sounds because they're sounding pretty good. Like some of them. Some of them have been a little chaotic. But that's the beauty of it. Oh god, how is this? Save sound. There we go. It's been a minute. Let's save this. Lots and lots of presets on this thing. They're not the greatest. Definitely require a bit of tweaking. They're very like effectsy and alien-y. So we're gonna make a sweet Jade Wee sound pack for this. What shall we name this? I always like to name my stuff like made up words. Yuga. Yuga. There we go. I'm sure it's a word in some language. And then you can set like the category. So it was on a bass, but it is no longer a bass. I guess it's kind of a key. I'm gonna save it. I love it. Sounds like Asian-y, jumpy. Hello everyone in the chat. What's up, Bo Beats? Long time no chat, my friend. Hello David Knight. Yes, that was a fun night at NAMM 2018. Nice to see you here. Thank you everybody for joining. Yeah, it can get a little spooky, definitely. It also gets very beautiful, as you have seen. Thank you, Netmaker. Why mono? Okay, so I knew this was gonna come up. It actually has to do with like my interface in OBS. I need to figure that out. Like when I try to run things in stereo, it's giving me a problem, so I have to figure that out. But I knew it was coming up, you autophile. I'm working on it. All right, but it still sounds gorgeous. Anyways, actually, my new mixer is just mono, so better get used to that. Sometimes it feels like it's not enough keys. I feel like the perfect octave range is 4 octaves. All these new keyboards that they've been giving us are so sad. I feel like they've realized that people don't even learn to play. Like they just want to buy things. So like the less keys that they have to waste, the better. Like things like the monologue and the microbrute. You know, like they're monophonic synths. So like I guess it makes sense. But I would still like the norm to be. You know, like it should be illegal to not make keys that are less than 4 octaves, because you saw me like playing invisible keys with this hand. Yeah. So I hear someone say in the comments by Mike Donagi, sorry. It seems expensive. It seems so expensive for a 4-voice synth. Yes, if you're using this just as a 4-voice synth, yes, this is expensive. And actually, the first time I bought this is my second one. The first time I bought this, I paid, I think, like $13.99 for it, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's how much they were going for, brand new. I could be mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's right, though. Which is a lot of money for a 4-voice synth. And like this was like my first expensive keyboard, like my first synth that was worth more than $1,000, and it was when I didn't really have much else, so it felt very limited at the time because like I'm a keys player and I need polyphony, and that's something to keep in mind when looking for your first synth. If you are a keys player like prior to getting into synthesizers, getting a mono synth is going to be very frustrating for you because you're going to want to play those keys, and yes, it can seem limiting. But what makes this keyboard shine is the sequencer. I'll try to like sequence some stuff on poly, but it doesn't always work out the greatest. It's very like it likes to eat notes. That's what I like to call it. Like it'll play certain notes and other notes it won't. When trying to do like polyphonic stuff on it with the sequencer, like if you do the record, if you record it that way, if you input it holding it, it might be a little better, but it's not the greatest at like getting all the notes. So if you're gonna get this just as a polysynth, don't do it. There's a lot of better polysynths. Like somebody said, you could buy 3 mini logs and have a 12-voice synth, linking them together. That sounds a little intense, but for the price, like it pretty much evens out. But these guys are like on the low right now because like everybody wants the new, right? I actually snagged this for like $800, which is a steal, and I think these are gonna become a classic because they're discontinued. Like this is what happens. People don't realize these things, and then same thing happened with the machine drum and with the mono machine. Like before you know it, everybody that wants one, like really, really wants one, has one. And then they don't make them anymore, so they're going to be gone. So I would jump on one of these if you're looking for like, I don't know. It's not for everybody. Like I said, like if you're looking for a sequencer, the main reason I got it was to sequence other things. But I wanted to show you guys that it's actually a pretty great sounding polysynth on its own. You could also get like the Analog 4, which is like the smaller version. But this one actually has a fatter bass, and the keys on this, oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. I'm like a key file. Is that a thing? They're so smooth and they're so soft and they just feel so great. And then the little added buttons, and then this, we haven't even. So different. Like, what other synth has this like this? Like the mini log kind of has like a one that's just like steady, but this one can go all around. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be a future classic. If you can snag one for the low, snag it. All right, let's answer some questions in the comments. Jade keeps buying and selling expensive things and then rebuying them for more money. Actually, no, the other way around. I buy and sell a lot of things. I'm not gonna lie. But I normally always like, I really hop on a deal. Like I'm a deal hopper. So like if something is a good deal, I'm not gonna say no. And normally I very rarely lose money. So that's not true, buddy. That's not true. Okay. Behringer DeepMind. I have not tried the Behringer DeepMind, but I have a thing against Behringer keys. I had an experience, like I went to Guitar Center and played the Behringer and the keys. I mean, it was like a 5-minute experience, but still it kind of like kept me away from Behringer synths. Like I said, I'm a key file. Maybe that's a new word. But the keys were like very plasticky and I'm not about that. I might try the module though if the opportunity comes around. It does sound really good. Yeah. Hi Jade, I want to watch but I can't. Okay, I'm sorry. I think they're Phaetar keys. They might be Phaetar keys. Let's see. Since you're a keys player, I know you want to do big 8-note extended chords with your 2 hands. Yes, I do. But I feel like you have to get used to playing whatever keyboard you're playing. I feel like I don't really start my songs over here with this slow C. Like you have to figure out what works best with this 3-octave range. The joystick is like the Korg Wave Station. Oh, I didn't know that. I have not tried the Wave Station. It sounds good from what I've heard of it. The opportunity has just not come around. Are they making, by Constantin Flux, are they making a new analog keys, or are we talking about the Digitone's new version? I don't know if they're gonna make an analog keys. I would assume that they might work on a new keyboard. So like Elektron's last keyboard, the Digitone keys, I feel like it was kind of a flop. The price has gone down like forever. It seems like that's the new price. It's $9.99. I believe it was what, $13.99 when it came out, the same as the analog keys. But it's really big and it's kind of awkward because it's kind of like it's exactly the same actually as the Mono Machine keyboard, which the keys are over here and then this is over here. So as a keyboard player, it doesn't really make sense. But once you actually play it, I mean, I really like my Mono Machine keyboard. It kind of makes me want to get the Digitone keys. But also real estate. Like the Digitone is like this big, and then if you get the keys, now you have this huge thing that you got to figure out where to put. And if you have a lot of stuff, that can be a problem. I would really like to see another keyboard like this, like from Elektron, like with this setup. Like that would be beautiful. So please, Elektron, make another keyboard and give us polyphony, because I need polyphony. At least 16. I know it's probably not gonna happen, but at least 8. Come on, Elektron, do it. Let's see. I recently discovered multi-tracking and multi-sampling monosynths, and it's amazing. Yeah, multi-tracking is definitely a lot of fun. It's also work too, like more editing, I feel. A lot of the stuff that I do is one stereo take, and like my cousin, he's always asking me to like send him tracks to mix, and I'm like, but it's just one stereo file. So just do what works best for you. I like to be in the DAW as little as possible, so I'll try to do like all my mixing pre-hand. I'll just try to get it out by ear, and then most of the time it doesn't come out perfect. Like maybe the drums will be too low, or there's a melody that's a little too high. But then at the end of the day, it's like, okay, it's either gonna be that song or it's gonna be no song. So it's for fun. Don't take life so seriously. Yeah, I gotta get them stems. The Elektron Digi boxes are so much smaller in real life. Yeah, they are pretty small. I had the Digitone. I've had them all. They're all great. But I really like keyboards. I need more space. I need a bigger place. All right, let's make some more music. Another thing that the analog keys has is the LFO. You might have heard all that craziness going on with the LFO. Um, it can definitely get pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure you can like assign it to like the joystick. We'll look at the joystick and all the other stuff maybe on a different video. I also love how the octave is like seamless, like a seamless transition. So like it doesn't, you know, you can't hear the octave actually changing. On some keyboards, when you press the octave button, it'll like, you know, stop and go to that octave. And even if I'm holding it, so like it's gonna keep playing that same note until I press it again. And then we also have a sub-octave that I've been turning off and on. And it goes up to the fifth, which gets a little 50. Pretty cool, sometimes. I like that sound. Let's save it before it gets lost into oblivion. Oh, not kit sound. What shall we name it? Toothvik. Okay. What would this be? I guess it's kind of a texture and a key. I guess if you're like really organized, categories make sense. If you like make a habit of like saving it how it is, you can go back. All right, let's answer a few more questions. Let's see. It sounds like Fantasy from the Casio PT1. The Casio PT1 is a very cool synth. I have a little blue one. It's a mono synth. It's very cute actually, but the Casio synths are really noisy, which is great if you're trying to make lo-fi, but that's about it. Yes, the Polyand tracker might end up as a gateway drug into the Elektron stuff. By Jorn Lins. I haven't tried the Polyand tracker. It looks interesting. I just tried to like keep my gear addiction geared towards synths because I hate like having to learn a new piece of gear. Okay, I take that back. I really like learning and teaching, but learning a synth comes a lot more naturally than learning something from scratch that you've never messed with before, or like a new workflow. I don't really like changing up like my main workflow. Yeah. So yeah. All right, let's make a few more sounds with this thing, and then I'll let y'all go about your way. Does the A4 keys have 4 separate CV outs, or are they the TRS ones the box has? I believe no, it doesn't have 4 separate ones. It has 2, and then you get A, B, and CD. So like you're gonna have to get one of those little cables. Buying more cables. That's all they want you to do. All right. That's all been improv, by the way, guys. Maybe like 1 or 2 like songs that I've been practicing, but most of it's improv. That's why I've been like messing up a few times. But and I'm gonna be talking about improv on my new Patreon thing that I was talking about earlier on the educational content. So if you're into that, don't forget to check it out. Like, this is where I hate not having enough keys, because I need that. I need that last note. Like, that would sound so much better if it went like from, let's try to do it with the octave changes. If you get like really good at using octave changes, not on just this keyboard but on any keyboard, you can do a lot of things. Like, you can fake having those extra octaves, but you have to be like, you have to practice it. I need to practice that a little more. But then you might need like a third hand. Alright guys, let me answer a few more questions before I head out with my day. I'm getting Ocarina of Time vibes from this. Yeah, I guess a lot of my stuff is very Nintendo influenced or video game influenced. I love Zelda, although I've never beaten a Zelda game. Like, comment below if you haven't. Like me, I get them all and I never beat them. They're just never ending. Actually, no, I lied. I did beat Majora's Mask for the 3DS, that remake. The remake. But yeah, I really do like video games. A lot of people say that I make like video game type music. I need to like get signed to like write some video games, guys. Come on, let your people know. Let your people know. All right, riding through space and time in an electric carpet. Yes, that's kind of like the vibes that you get from this. All right, guys. Hey Jade, I have a playing question. All right, Mike, go ahead right before I signed off. What's your question, buddy? Let me know. When you improv, do you find you tend to gravitate to a certain key? I always seem to play everything in C minor. So at first, yes. And this is actually, okay, so here's where learning comes in. You need to like constantly be learning, explore new keys, explore new chords. If not, you're always going to be playing in the same key. At first, this is my key of choice. And I still play a lot of stuff in this key only because, especially here, because of the lack of extra keys. But explore, you know, learn new scales, learn new chords. Definitely, and that will help you improv better. Okay guys, that's it. Thank you for joining. Thank you for everything. Also, we have something that came in the mail today. Oh snap, oh snap. Gonna make a video on this soon, another stream for this, so definitely subscribe if you have not already. Looking forward to this. I had the original one. So now I have this one and it looks pretty cool in white. Gonna check that out on maybe our next stream. Don't quote me on that, but on a stream coming soon. Alright guys, take care and have a dope day.